start streaming. Okay. And we are live on Twitch. We should be live on YouTube. We are indeed. Just pop out the chat. Okay, getting the announcement out on TikTok. Okay. That explains a lot. Okay, and we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody, welcome back, welcome aboard, welcome to Farm Sim Friday. How's everyone doing? Just let me, there we go, do that. Okay, hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream, welcome aboard. We are back for more Farm Sim Friday. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. So we're back in Saxlingham. We're going to get straight into it in just a moment. Hi STFC, how are you doing? How are you? I'm good, thank you very much. How are you doing? I'm excited, I'm glad to be back in Farming Sim, you know. So we're going to continue with Saxlingham today. I'm going to explain a little bit about what I've got planned, and then we're going to dive straight into it. But we are once again on this wonderful map for our second episode. In the last stream, we started off this map. We started with these fields, 2, 3, 7, and 19. And we also bought ourselves a little plot of land here to put some production buildings on. So we're now also producing, we got a grain mill, and a bakery, so that we're producing bread. Let me just turn the time scale up real quick. I'll put it up quite fast until it starts to get a bit lighter. We are in September, so there we go, and we'll put it to ×6. There we go, that's a little bit better. You can see a bit better now. So here we are. This is what we did last week. Basically, we just got started with the map. We did a bit of harvesting. We harvested wheat and barley. We had a little bit of a look round. And obviously, we bought this plot of land here, which we've now got our grain mill and bakery on, which I'm happy with. We maybe didn't use the space too wisely, because we could have fit another building in here if we were a little bit more careful. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm happy with it all the same. But today, we are going to be focusing on something different. Today, we're going to be focusing on animals, as you can probably guess from the title of the stream. We're going to try and do some animals today. Yo, I've got it's Friday. Hi, Creepy Jerk Man, how are you doing? It is indeed, it's Friday, and we're back in Farming Sim. But yes, the plan for today is I want to start looking at animals, because in Moss Valley, we didn't really do much with animals. We had sheep and we had chickens, but that was about it. We didn't really do too much other stuff, and we didn't really get to sell much of the animal product either. But I've been looking around. I've been doing some scouting out of various different mods, and you'll be pleased to know that I found a mod which lets you process animals. I found a meat mod, so we can actually now sell our animals, and we can make various meat products with them. So we can do like sausages and joints of pork and beef and stuff like that, which I think is really cool. As I've mentioned before, because this game is rated PEGI 3, they're not actually allowed to put any animal any cruelty against animals in the game, and I suppose, you know, meat products count, you know, falls under that category, which is why in Farming Sim you can't actually like make any meat products with the animals. You just take them to market and sell them. But with this mod, we can actually do stuff with the animals. We can actually put down these like meat processing plants, and we can make various different products with the animals, which I think is going to make the game a little bit more realistic. And for that reason, we are going to try and get... Eventually, I want to keep every different kind of animal. So there's cows, pigs, chickens, sheep, goats, water buffalo, and horses. That's 7 different types of animals so far that we can keep. I would like to try and keep all of them eventually. Now, there is a bit of land over here. Thanks for following, by the way, full stop. Hey, Puddle, hey, Farmer Brian, and hey, Mason, as well, by the way. But there's some land over here. You can see here, around sort of field 68, 69, 72. These fields here are not actually farmland. Like, you can see the fields next door. These have all got grass in them. Technically, these fields also have grass in them, but they're not actually registered as farmland of any kind. And I thought it might be a good idea if we bought up all of these fields here and used these for our animal pens, because we got, like, field 69 here, for example. A nice small field, nice good size for some sheep, for example. Then just next door, field 68, a little bit bigger. We could put some pigs in there. And 72 is a nice big square field. We could put cows in that one. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we'll just buy all of these fields in this area around here. We got access to grassland, which is going to be great for getting our animal feed. And we're quite close to water as well, which is going to be good for, you know, watering the animals. So I think this is going to be a good place to start building our animal empire, you know. We'll get down here in the tractor, I think would be a good place to start. Let me get my keys. Because I think we can take a better look in the tractor, because we can use the outside camera and we can zoom out a bit and get a better look at the area. So that's what we're going to do. We'll head down there with this. You look like my skate character, says BCFC. Thank you, BCFC. I'll take that as a compliment. Is that a New Holland? It is, Aiden, yes. This is the New Holland T7. It's a little bit darker than the regular New Holland. It's got the blue power paint job, which is I quite like. Some melts in here today, says Puddle. That's Farm Sim Friday. That's how it goes. I mean, this is my most popular series that I do. I just want to point that out. I mean, there's 65 viewers right now, so hello everyone who's watching right now on TikTok. This is by far the most popular series that I do. It gets more views than any of my other live streams. It gets more views than Minecraft. It gets more views than even Euro Truck. And obviously, the more views you get, the higher chance that you're going to get some negative comments. But, you know, I've said many times in the past, they really don't bother me. You know, I've never been bothered by negative comments on social media, really. I'm going to put my headlights on, actually, because it's a little bit dark. It is still quite early in the day. It's only 25 past 7, and we are in September, so it's not fully daylight just yet. Are you a guy or a girl? Just curious, says Ligon. I was born... Well, I'm male, so I was assigned male at birth. It says male on my birth certificate. And I was raised as a boy, but I came out about 4 years ago. As a trans woman, and I've lived as a woman ever since. I'm known and accepted by most of my family, well, all of my family, as a trans woman. That's who I am. And I yeah, that's it. Do you date boys or girls? I'm just wondering, says DR. I would probably consider myself to be pansexual, so I'm not really fussed about gender when it comes to relationships. I'm not in a relationship at the moment, and I'm not looking for a relationship at the moment. I'm happy as I am on my own for the time being. But yeah, I'm not fussed when it comes to gender. Thanks for the roses, Marika, by the way. Okay, where is... Right, field 68 is just across there. That... Ooh, 1 second. That's field 68. And now that we're in the tractor, you can get a bit of a better view of the size of the field, because we can zoom out a little bit in the camera. That seems like a good size. I could imagine some pigs in there. That seems like a good sized field for some pigs. If we back up just a little bit, the field just over the way there seems like a good size for cows. And if we back down a bit further, this field here seems like a good size for sheep. So again, I think this is going to be a good place to do animals. Now the question is, do I just dive right in and buy all the fields and all the animals straight away, or should we start by doing one animal at a time? I'm curious what you guys think. Should we buy field 68, 69 and 72 and get cows, sheep and pigs all at once, or should we start small, just keep one animal at a time, start with the sheep maybe and then get pigs later and then cows later still? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to go all in just yet or start small. While you guys are mulling that over and deciding for me, I'm going to crack open my drink. Hi, Marika, by the way. Do you use girls' or boys' toilets, says Jack. I don't use public toilets, Jack. Never have. I hate public toilets. They're always absolutely filthy and disgusting, and I'm a bit of a germaphobe. So the answer is I don't use any public toilets at all. Anyway, we are... I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do it. Can we afford... If we can afford to buy all 3 fields, 122k for 72. Hold on. Buy that. That's what people think of you. It says user 696321. Probably, yeah. Probably quite a few. I mean, there's some of them right here in the audience. Clearly, at least some people out there think that I'm gross and disgusting. Do I care? No. But yeah, I'm sure people do think that about me by virtue of the fact that I'm transgender, and some people don't really like that. Thanks for the heartbeat, by the way, Simo. Okay, anyway. We bought 68, 69, and 72. So this is ours now. This is our fields. We can do whatever we like with it. I support you for who you are. Thank you, Jack. That's very kind of you. I guess let's go to the construction menu and maybe start placing some pens. Oh, we're in the wrong section here. We want cows, cow pasture. Ah, okay. We've also got a mod that makes the animals a little bit more realistic. If for those of you who don't know, in Farming Sim by default, animals are genderless, believe it or not. So you just get 10 cows, and then a year later you'll have 12 or 15 or whatever. But this, I've got a mod that makes it a little bit more realistic by actually adding in male and female animals, so you have to actually buy a mix of both to be able to breed them. And it's more realistic with things like milk production in cows, for example. They'll only produce milk when they're actually calving, like in real life, whereas in the base game, they just automatically start producing milk once they've reached maturity. So yeah, we got a few mods that tweak the animals a little bit and make them a little bit more realistic. But it does mean There's going to be some new stuff that I'm going to have to learn. Some of the animal pens might not behave the same as they normally do. So, for example, the cow pasture here says this is a breeding barn, therefore milk production is not possible, so we can't get any milk if we use this pasture. Same with this one here. We want to try and get all the possible products, so we want to breed them for meat as well as for milk, so hopefully there's a barn that lets us do that. The pasture of this building can be customized. Oh, that's 250 grand though, which is a bit expensive. Oh shit, we can't actually afford... We can afford this one, 150... No, we can't. We've only got 147k. We might want to sell some... we might want to sell some of our grain first before we can afford to actually place the sheds. I didn't realise the sheds were going to be so expensive. How was your day? It's good, Titan. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. There's a money glitch, says Ravens. Yeah, I'm trying to play realistically though, Raven, on this series. I don't want to be cheating in money or glitching in money or anything like that. We're going to try and play this as legit as possible. I can always take out a loan. Oh, thank you for following. Oh shit, I can't read the username, it's too small. Someone followed. Ryan from Wales, 123. Thank you, Ryan from Wales. By the way, I've got Twitch alerts now, so if anyone follows me on Twitch during the stream, you'll hear it, and I'll hear it, and I'll be able to actually thank people, which I don't normally get to do because I never normally know when people follow me on Twitch. So thank you, Ryan from Wales 123. I have read your comments, by the way. The one where you say, "Have I just joined a nightmare or am I in hell?" Don't know why you'd follow me if you consider watching my live stream to be hell, but thank you very much anyway. So you do read comments? I do. I do indeed read comments. Thank you for following Aiden, by the way. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm getting too distracted by the chat. I was supposed to be looking at... We'll look at pigsties. Okay, the pigsty's a lot cheaper. We can get a pigsty for 20 grand. That's very, very cheap. If we want an enclosed one, 67k. I would like to have an enclosed one because, you know, I don't think it's fair for them to be outdoors all the time, especially it's pissing down right now, so we kind of want them to be able to have somewhere to shelter when it's raining, you know. So I think maybe the 67 grand one would be a better option. And that's going to go... this field here is going to be for the pigs. Sheep, we can go for the 48k one. That can go in this little area here, which won't be too expensive. Okay, sorry, just a second. But yeah, I think before we can do any of that, we do need a bit more money. So I'm gonna... Let's check out the sell prices for our grain, because we got barley and wheat to sell. But it's not a good time for barley and wheat. It's like the worst time of year to be getting barley and wheat, really. Oh, thank you for the You're Awesomes, Marika. What's your thoughts on digital ID? I'm guessing you like it, says Ryan from Wales. That's a strange thing to guess. No, I don't like it at all. I think it's one of the most invasive pieces of online legislation that's ever happened in this country. I totally oppose it. Again, not sure why you'd get the impression that I would be in support of mass surveillance and a surveillance state, because I'm definitely not. Anyway, what we'll do then, because it's a bad time to sell the animal products, to sell the grain, sorry, I will instead go... I'm going to take out a bit of a loan, Because I want to place down... Okay, we'll start with sheep. Wrong menu. Construction menu. We'll start with sheep, because we can afford the sheep barn. Then we'll take out a loan, and we can get some pigs and cows as well. Right-wingers think anyone who isn't a reformer is pro-digital ID Labour voter, says Nescafe. Yeah, honestly, I've noticed that a lot with reform voters. They kind of have this attitude of everyone in the entire country is either a reform voter or a Labour voter. They can't grasp the concept that you might not support either of those parties. But we do exist. Yeah, there are people out there that don't support Labour or Reform, actually. Oh, cannot place fence here? Why is that? We definitely own this farmland, right? This is... Hold on. Field 69. That's this one here. That's the field that we're in right now. Oh no, it's this one. This is our field. Okay, right. So we'll put... This is going to be our sheep field. Ashton, stop playing dress up. 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 Transformer, 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 transformer. My name's not Ashton, by the way. I don't know where you're getting Ashton from. That's not my name. I mean... Literally, my username is Ashbridge. It's right there in the username. I don't know where people get Ashton from. What is your name? My name is Saul. S-A-U-L. That's my first name. My surname is Ashbridge, hence my username on TikTok, being Ashbridge Industries. Thank you for following, by the way, Ale Wine Siri. I'm not sure how to read that username, but thank you very much. Okay. We are going to place down now one of these sheep pastures. Where can we put it where we're actually going to be able to access it, is the thing. What's your name on your birth certificate? It's Saul. S-A-U-L. That is my birth name. I actually kept my birth name when I came out. The only change I've made is to my middle names, but my first name is the same name that I was given when I was born. I haven't changed my first name, so it is Saul. You look like an Alice, says Ryan. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Okay, right. There's a bit of a problem with this sheep pasture because I want to place it somewhere where we can actually access the, the input for the bales and all that kind of stuff, but also be able to. I'm just wondering, can we actually demolish any of this here? Remove. Nope, we can't get rid of any of these fences. What do you identify as? I'm a trans woman, so I was born male. It says male on my birth certificate, as WTF will be very quick to point out. I was born male, I was raised as a boy, I came out 4 years ago as a trans woman, and I've lived as a trans woman ever since. Hey, Pookie Cutie on Twitch, how are you doing? Welcome. What about this one, actually? Oh, that's another object? No. Okay, the problem is we can't put the sheep pasture... I don't know. Wherever we put it, we're going to have to basically we're going to have to make a smaller field inside this field for the sheep pasture. There's really no two ways about that. Let me just open the gate and see which way the gate opens. You do you, F the haters. Thank you, Tony. I do me. Yeah, as I've said many times before, I'm used to negative comments on social media. Oh, thank you for following. God, I really can't read my own alerts. Dan B, thank you, Dan B. I didn't really think through the Twitch alerts all that much. I can't actually read them on my own screen. Anyway. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I've never been bothered by negative comments. You know, if you have any kind of if you're in any kind of minority group on the internet, you're gonna get negative comments. You know, if you're black, if you're gay, if you're trans, if you have a disability, if you're different from the norm in any way whatsoever, you're gonna get negative comments on the internet. It's just a fact of life. The easiest thing to do, I know it's easier said than done, but the easiest thing to do is to just get over it and ignore them. That's how it is, you know. Is it Saul? Saul? It's Saul, Ryan. That's how you spell my name. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the pasture here. Try and adjust it. Do you want to customize the fence? Yes, I do. So I will try to get as much of the field as possible within these bounds. Actually, it might be a good thing that we've got a bit of space at the top of the field, because it will give us space to store equipment and to turn vehicles around and stuff like that. No, hold on. How do I undo the last segment? H. Okay. You could be normal and you'd still get negative comments. That's just the internet. I mean, that is true, WTF, but I don't think it's controversial to say that if you have any kind of difference, you will get more negative comments than people who are normal. You know what I mean? Yeah, literally everyone on the internet will get negative comments from time to time, but I think it's naive to say that people with differences aren't disproportionately affected by those negative comments. Oh, why can't I? Oh, we're too close to the edge of the field. So this is annoying as well. It does this sometimes, where we've got to leave out that corner of the field because it's a bit funny in letting me place the fences down there. This camera angle's a bit better, actually. Let's see if we can... There we go. That's better. In fact, I'm going to redo the whole thing. Okay, this bit here is good. It's when we get down to this corner. That's better. I want to try and get as close to the edge as possible. Are you normal? Says Ryan on Twitch. I mean, there's some debate about that. Yeah, I think I'm perfectly normal. I don't think there's anything abnormal about being trans. But again, this is the internet. People disagree with that. Serious question, not negative. How did you know you wanted to be a lady? Good question, WTF. I do have a video about this if you want to know more, because this is a question that I get asked a lot. and it's not exactly an easy question to just answer on the fly. But I always had this kind of feeling that things weren't quite right. When I was growing up, I never really felt comfortable with myself, and I never knew why. I was never really sure why. With a lot of trans people, they know from a very young age. They know exactly what the problem is. They know that they, are a different gender from what they've been raised as and what they've been assigned. But for some trans people, such as myself, it's something that you don't figure out until later life. Like, the signs are there, but you just can't quite figure it out. And that's how it was for me. I was very uncomfortable with myself, but I was never sure why. And it took me a long time to figure out why. Through getting to know trans people and getting to understand the trans experience, and then learning that it actually made a lot of sense to my own experiences, and it kind of started to add up. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't like I always knew, like some trans people do. It was more of there was always something there, but it took me a while to pinpoint what it actually was. Okay, it's doing this thing again where it won't let me place the... Ah, there we go. Do you want to plant the meadow for the sheep barn? Yeah, go on then. Nope, it's done it again. It's done the thing that it always does. This pisses me off so much. It did this when we played Moss Valley as well. I've just spent 10 minutes trying to lay out the boundaries for the sheep pasture, and then as soon as I place it down, it just goes back to the default shape. And the thing is, there's no way to adjust the boundaries once you've placed it down, so I'm now going to have to sell the sheep pasture and buy another one and try again. In retrospect, I probably should have done this off camera, because I knew that it was going to piss me about like this. It always does. And I only get half the money back when I sell it as well, so now I've lost 25 grand for nothing, for quite literally nothing. Yes, I do want to customize the fence, and this time, when I've finished customizing the fence, I want you to actually save the fence that I've customized, not just go back to the default shape again. Right? Can we try that? Okay, back a little bit. Oh, and again. Why is it doing this now? What do you mean, not enough? I can't even afford to place the fence now. I'll tell you what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to restart. I'm gonna have to reload the game, and try and place the sheep pasture again, because, like I say, it bugged out. It placed down the pasture in the default shape, and then when I tried to rebuild it, I didn't have enough money. We'll just reload and try again. That's probably easier. Go in the config file and become a billionaire, says WTF. I don't want to cheat on this one though, WTF. I'm no stranger to cheating in Farming Sim, but I want to try and do this one as legit as possible. I want to really try to not cheat and try and keep it realistic. Okay, let's try again. This time, I'm only going to buy one field at a time, because that cost us quite a lot of money as well. We'll just buy field 69. Then we'll head down there. Let me fast forward the clock a bit. And then I'm gonna wait till it gets a bit lighter. I'm gonna quick save. Well, I'll do a save, and then we'll try and place the sheep pasture again. Nice, says Marika. Indeed. Where's the road? Over there. I can't really see to place the pasture while it's still dark, so we'll... Come on, speed up a bit. There we go. Can't turn it back down again. My control panel does this weird thing where it will let me turn up the speed of the game, but it won't let me turn it back down again. So then I have to go back into the menu to manually change the speed. Anyway, sheep. When did you transition, says Riley. I came out 4 years ago, Riley. Hi, Ollie. I'm back. Feel like I haven't been on live in ages. How are you doing, Ollie? How are you doing? In my option, I think I have a better PC, says Ryan. You may well do, Ryan. My PC is not exactly top of the line. It's very middle of the road. It's not a bad PC by any chance. By any means, sorry, but it's it's not exactly a NASA supercomputer either. It's okay. It's good. It's middle of the road. I'm happy with it. But you may well have a better PC than me. Most people probably do. Thanks for following Bodhi 2012, by the way. Someone's son, nope, someone's daughter, McCran. And actually, this necklace that I'm wearing right now is from my dad, who is very supportive of me. Thank you for your concern. Okay, you want to customize the fence? I do indeed. I might have placed that a bit too close to the hedge. That might make it a bit difficult to load the animals in there, but we'll... I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. We've already spent the first half an hour of the stream on this shit. I'm not... It's just gonna have to be good enough, you know? Okay, there we go. There we go. And... get well soon, big man. I'm fine, thanks, DDDD. I'm not ill. Stop swearing. Nope, Ryan. Swearing is part and parcel of this channel. If you are watching my live streams, there's going to be swearing. If you're on Twitch, it actually does... The stream is actually tagged as containing profanity. So if you don't want profanity, then don't watch the stream, because you are going to get it here. What you dressed in, says Isaac. I am currently wearing a crop top and skirt. I've also got some thigh-high socks on, which you can't actually see on the camera, and I'm not going to show off, so don't ask. They're just to keep me warm, because it's kind of chilly today. Oh, don't own that one. You're not showing off at all? No, I literally just said I'm not going to show them off on stream. So thank you for pointing out the thing that I literally just said. No, it's this corner that's a bit awkward. It won't quite let me place the fence right into that corner. There we go. Love the skirt. Thank you, Marika. Is Farming Sim 25 worth getting? Because I got 22. Just wondering if it's better, says Ollie. I think it is, Ollie. I think, I've said it before, I think the game is improved in lots of small ways. There isn't really one major change that I can point to and say this completely transforms the game or anything like that. But there's lots of little improvements that make it a better overall experience than Farming Sim 22, in my opinion. So I'd say it's worth upgrading. I definitely think it's worth moving to FS22 from... It's done it again. Oh no, it hasn't. It worked! Yes! Oh, thank Christ, it worked. Now, unfortunately, I didn't place the pasture, so I don't think the grass in here is going to actually grow. But it worked. We actually successfully placed the perimeter, so I'm going to save now before we fuck everything up. May I ask why you dressed up like this? Why not? Because I want to be. I dress how I like, and I like to dress like this. Have you not got any mods? I do, Fazzy, yes. The thing is, I actually tell my moderators to be quite lenient when it comes to negative comments. Apart from spam, which I don't enjoy because it just kind of fills the chat up with repeat messages, apart from that, I really don't care about negative comments, and I do encourage my moderators to let most of the negative comments through, unless they're, like, really, really serious. So I do have moderators, but I usually tell them, you know, negative comments, just let them be, because I'd rather read them, to be honest. Get a good laugh out of most of them. Cam's a bit laggy. Yes, sorry, Ryan. Ryan from Wales on Twitch. It does happen sometimes. My camera ends up lagging behind. It's the thing is, my PC prioritizes the game. Quite rightly, my PC prioritizes the game. So whenever resources are a little bit scarce, it'll prioritize the game, and the webcam will end up lagging a little bit. But I'd rather that than the opposite way round, like have a really smooth webcam and a laggy game, you know what I mean? So it's I'm happy to live with it. Someone's more patient than I am, says Marika. Honestly, Marika, the other thing is as well, I think when it comes to negative comments, I think it's better to let people reveal themselves, you know, reveal their own character, you know, because I can talk about negative comments till I'm blue in the mouth, but letting people actually see those negative comments firsthand, you know, it gives you a chance to see what these people are actually like, the people who leave the kind of comments that they leave. Again, I can spend ages and ages decrying negative comments, but I think it's more effective to just let people see some of the deranged shit that gets commented on my videos and live streams. So that's just another reason that I'm happy to let the negative comments through. How are you, Farm Sim Friday? I'm good, Chance Pup. How are you doing? Such a cool setup. I'm going to have to get this fancy being a farmer for a bit. Thank you for complimenting the setup. I'm very, very pleased with my setup. It's taken me quite a while to get it to this level. I started out a couple of years ago with the steering wheel and the side panel, but over the years I've expanded it. We've now got the gear shifter and the handbrake, which unfortunately they only work for Euro Truck, but we got the ignition lock here, we got the beacon light. We got quite a lot of stuff now. Okay, the camera... Sorry about the camera again, by the way. It is being a little bit slower than usual today. Hey, Stephen Chadwick, how you doing? Oh, here it is. Here's our new sheep pasture. Thanks for following Goatee. I'm guessing it's pronounced Goatee. Let me know. Oh, it's fish. It's fish, isn't it? I get the reference. I got the reference. It took me a second. I'm with you. I'm with you. Thank you for following Fish, spelt G-O-T-H-I. I've watched Farm Sim for ages and I'm still sure I'd get lost, says Stephen. Honestly, Stephen, if you play on Riverbend Springs, the American map, the tutorial is actually pretty good. It's one of those games, I've always said Farming Sim is one of those games where it's as complicated as you want it to be, if that makes sense. If you just want to do the basic gameplay loop of planting crops, harvesting crops, and then, you know, cultivating the ground for the next cycle, you can do that. But then if you want to make it more complicated, you can do stuff like spreading fertilizer or picking stones, that kind of stuff. So, like I say, it is one of those games where the basics are very easy to grasp, but then if you want to go a step further, there's all this extra stuff. Like all those extra steps are optional, you know what I mean? You can do all of that stuff in your own time. Anyway, I am gonna now buy an animal trailer because I want to start bringing over some sheep. Okay, animals all the way down here. Watch pronouns, she, her, thanks for asking, Mr. Beaver. Got big into American Truck Simulator during lockdown. I love that. Nice one, Stephen. I'm a Euro Truck player myself. I've never really been interested in American Truck Simulator, but I do play quite a lot of Euro Truck, and we do play that on stream on Tuesdays if you want to watch that. But yeah, big fan of Euro Truck. Oh, I like the look of this trailer, the Mitre one, or Mater, however you pronounce it. But it is quite small. It can only hold 12 sheep. Mind you, the Flygall one can only hold 13 sheep, so it's not that much of a difference. This one can hold up to 30, but it's actually... It's a cheat one. It's actually the same trailer, but with extra capacity. I don't want to use that. I don't want to use any cheaty mods like that. So I think we'll go for the Mitre, the Maitre, or I think it's like supposed to be Maitre with like a rolled R. I don't know, but we're gonna buy one of these. I missed the ETS streams. I'm sorry, Puddle. I'm really hoping for ETS next week. We have had to cancel like the last couple of ETS streams, but the next one is on Tuesday, and fingers crossed. There'll be no, you know, divine intervention this time where some insane event happens and I have to cancel the stream last minute. Hopefully this time it will actually go ahead on Tuesday. It was nice to come across your channel. See you again soon. Thank you, Stephen. What is your streaming schedule, just so I can tune in, says Ollie. My current schedule, Ollie, is I play Minecraft on Monday, Euro Truck on Tuesday, Factorio on Thursday, Farming Sim on Friday, Train Simulator on Saturday, and on Sundays I do Sci-Fi Sunday. Now, I don't actually do all of those every week because I don't have time to do 6 live streams a week. I do 3 streams a week, and I like alternate between the 2. So one week I'll do Monday, Friday, Sunday, and then the next week I'll do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So this week I'm doing today and Sunday, and then next week I'll be doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday again. But my schedule is pretty much every other day, so if there's ever a day that I'm not streaming, I'll probably be streaming the next day. Like, if I'm streaming today, I'm not streaming tomorrow, and if I'm not streaming today, then I am streaming tomorrow. That's the basic pattern. How much do you start off with in the beginning of the game, says JJ. It depends what difficulty you're on, JJ. On Farm Manager, you start with 1 million. On New Farmer, you start with 150k. But the difficulty settings are different as well, so even though you get more money on Farm Manager, there's more... the difficulty's higher and things cost more and stuff like that. But I started this one on Farm Manager, so we did start off with 1 mil. Guys, you'll see me on Sunday then. Thank you, Ollie. We're going to be playing some more New and Tasty on Sunday. Oddworld New and Tasty. And I think, hopefully, we're going to finish it on Sunday, because we are getting quite close to the end of the game now. After that, we're going to play Oddworld Soulstorm, and then we will have played every single game in the Oddworld series on stream this year, which is impressive. I'm glad that we actually managed to get it done. Where? Oh, I've just driven straight past the shop. 1 second. Illegal 3-part turn. Do you take part in Locktober, says Richard? That is a wild, wild question to ask someone on the internet, unprompted, Richard. No, I don't. Let's just leave it at that. No. Hello, you look beautiful, says Janice on YouTube. Thank you, Janice. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. How are you doing today? I fear I'm too naive to know what that is. It's probably better that way, Puddle. I don't think you want to know, to be honest. Google it if you want to be scarred. Let's just say it's something that only cis men and pre-op trans women would be able to participate in. Do you have a six-pack, says Glunteries? No, as you can see, I definitely don't. Getting lonely again, says Janice. Memories can only get you so far. I'm sorry to hear that, Janice. I'm sorry you're feeling a bit lonely today. Hopefully, I can cheer you up a little bit. I'm glad to be here, you know, keep you company. Oh, Marika's Googled it. Marika's discovered what it is. Would you like to share with the group, Marika? For those of us who aren't already aware, of which I am unfortunately not one of those people. I am all too familiar, I'm sorry to say. Not that I've participated, I just happen to know what it is. Can you turn the beacon on, says Sharp. Not in this tractor, Sharp, because in this tractor it has a very sporadic flash pattern, and I don't want to trigger anyone's epilepsy or anything like that. When I'm driving a tractor with a spinning light, I'll put it on, but on this tractor it like flashes really quickly, and I don't want to upset anyone with that. Okay, we're going to take a left here, and then all the way up to the top. Is the steering wheel worth it, says EMJ? It is, I think it is. It's a very good steering wheel. It's quite cheap, but if you want to, you know, if you've never had a steering wheel before and you're looking to get your first one, it is a good place to start. This is the first wheel that I bought, and you know, I've still got it 3 years later. Eventually I will be upgrading, and I'd like to get something a bit more expensive and a bit higher quality. But it's a great starting wheel. Like I say, it's cheap and it's quite durable. So if you never had one and you're looking to get your first one, it's a good place to start. It's called the Logitech Heavy Equipment Wheel. I think I might have to delete my search history, says Puddle. It's too late now, Puddle. You've entered the rabbit hole. There's no going back. Thank you, Richard, for starting us off down this rabbit hole. Now everyone has to know. Thanks for following EMJ, by the way. Is this basically a game that makes it very much like you drive a lorry, says Troy? It's a game where you drive tractors, Troy. It's a farming game, so you do, you know, you buy and sell animals, you grow crops. Basically anything that farmers do, you do in this game. Right now we're going to pick up some sheep, because we've just bought a new sheep pasture, and we're going to buy some sheep and get them down there. You get out of the character and have a house. Yeah, there is a house. You can get out of the tractor and walk around, which we're going to be doing in just a second. There we are. We're outside the tractor now. We need to find the actual interaction point where we buy the animals. Where is it? Are you on PC? I am, Jay Halliday, yes. I feel left out of Locktober, can't lie, says Puddle. I mean, theoretically, you could participate. There are... I'm not gonna... We're shutting this conversation down. Let's just stop talking about that. No, please. How have we ended up here? How did this happen? I'm so sorry, Puddle, for even insinuating. Let's just get back to talking about Farming Sim, please. My word. What a conversation. I wasn't expecting the conversation to go in this direction today. I really wasn't. Okay, I'm confused now. I'm confused how we actually get to the animal dealer, because it seems like it's hidden in the trees up there somewhere. I've done like 5 3-point turns and we still haven't found it. It's got to be down this road here. Is there another turn? What? Okay, that was my fault, in fairness. Is there another... Oh, I see animals, I see sheep. I didn't notice those before. I see sheep. Oh no, that's... I don't see sheep, I see cows. I'm blind, apparently. I see cows, so we must be in the right area. Thanks for following Ollie on track, by the way. Let's head up this way and see if there's... Ah! I see a building. I see a building through the trees. Oh, it's here. It's here. We found it. We found it. This is the animal dealer. God, that took a long time, but here we are. Thanks for following, Michael. Okay, unfold livestock trailer. Nope, that's detach. There we go. And... open animal dialogue. Okay, let's buy ourselves some pigs. Sheep. Parents failed, says Diabetic Pigeon. No, thanks for your concern, Diabetic Pigeon, but actually my parents... I'm the oldest of 5 kids, and I'm the only one who turned out trans. So, surely if my parents failed, by your own logic, if being trans is a failure, then surely the rest of them would be trans as well. But no, I'm the only one of the 5 who is transgender, so... if it is a failure, it's my failure, not my parents'. Anyway, let's buy some sheep. So, we've got Merinos, Suffolks, mountain sheep, Thuringian forest goats. That's it. What should we go with? It doesn't actually tell us which sheep are better for meat or wool, but we are using a mod that that does affect that. So if anyone is a sheep expert, you know, in real life, which sheep are better for wool? We can get merino, we can get Suffolk, or we can get mountain sheep. Which breed is best for wool? Suffolk is good for wool. Okay, thank you for letting me know, guys. So I think we'll go for Suffolk because I'd like to focus on the wool for our sheep. Cheaper to run as well, says JJ. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, we'll go for Suffolk then. We do want to breed them as well, so we want to go for a mix of ewes and rams. Again, we're using a mod that makes the animals more realistic, so we do actually have to buy male and female sheep if we want to breed our sheep. So we'll get a mixture. I think you only need a couple of rams, right? Like there's typically you only need like 1 or 2 rams and the rest ewes. So that's what we'll do. This can fit 12. 1 ram to 6 usually, says JJ. Okay, so we'll get 10 ewes and 2 rams. That'll fill up the trailer, and it'll be about the right ratio of rams to ewes. I'm not going to get them newborn because it's a bit too much work, but I don't want to get them fully grown either because then they're a bit more expensive. Let's go for 6 months old. Shall we? We'll get 10 ewes. Yep. And then 2 rams. There we go. And that is a full trailer. There they are. I don't know if they'd be that organised in real life. I think they'd be a little bit more. I don't think sheep are quite so regimented in reality, but you know, it is what it is. We got the sheep. That's the main thing. Let's get these back to the farm. Filed the sheep. No sheep are a pain, says James. Yeah, honestly, I'm not an expert on sheep, but I'm aware that they're not quite as organised and orderly in real life as they are in the game. Anyway, let's get these back to their new pasture. Super Nervous just got my first prescription of estrogen. Congratulations, Hyder. Big moment. Hope it goes well for you. Hope you get the results you're looking for. Please ignore the negative comments. I just wanted to talk to my doctor about it, and she said we can do that today. Actually, wow! Congratulations, Hyder. That's you've been lucky enough to just breeze through it. But yeah, good luck with it. Thanks for following, Loza C. How are you doing? It took me 2 years to get mine. Sorry about that, Jacob. But, you know, better late than never, I guess. Unfortunately, some people do have quite a long wait before they can get on HRT, but I imagine it just makes the reward that much sweeter when you finally get it, you know? I don't really post pictures of myself online, but I might have to start now, says Hyder. Honestly, Hyder, I cannot tell you how my self-confidence changed when I came out, especially with regards to photos. I used to hate having my photograph taken. I really hated it. I hated how I looked in photographs. This was before I came out. And I never took selfies. Like, I literally... In 21 years, I never took a single selfie before I came out. And I mean, look at me now. You know, I could not have imagined having that level of self-confidence. You know, despite what people say, I'm just so much more comfortable in myself now. Like I say, I couldn't have even imagined having that level of self-confidence a few years ago, but coming out has completely transformed me, you know. Thanks for following ZKitty on Twitch. I saw this one creator film themselves asking questions on day 1 and answering them 2 years later. That is such a cool idea, Hyder. That really is such a cool idea. People like this should not show their face, says Charles. Funny you should say that, Charles, because it's people like you who are the reason that I am so willing to show my face on the internet. The more negative comments that I get, the more it reminds me of how important it is for trans people to be visible. So again, the more you tell me not to show your face, to show my face, the more I'm gonna do it. Okay, let's unload our new sheep, shall we? Afternoon, Dylan. How you doing? Here they are. Here's our sheep. There we go. Suffolk Ewe. We got 12 of these guys. 10 not 10 rams. 10 ewes and 2 rams. We have got space for more, though. We have got space for quite a few more. How big is the pasture, actually? Let me just see. Okay, it doesn't actually say what the maximum capacity is. It's 103. Okay, we can probably get a couple more loads then. Let's go and get some more. I'm not going to fill it because we need space for the lambs as well when they start lambing. So we're not going to fill it to absolute capacity, but I think, you know, maybe about 50 sheep would be a good start. We've currently got 12, so if I get 3 more loads, that'll be 48. That seems like a good amount. I'm thinking about taking myself out for a celebratory fancy burger. Go for it, Hyder. Go for it. You got to celebrate. It is a big milestone. Is this game worth playing if you don't have a steering wheel? It is, Troy. Yeah. You can play the game with a keyboard and mouse, and you can also play the game with a controller. I definitely think a steering wheel is the best experience, but you can absolutely play it without a steering wheel. Obviously, when I first started playing, way back in 2015, I was on the PlayStation and I was playing with a controller. So yeah, you definitely can do it, but I do recommend a wheel for the best experience. I wouldn't be able to play with a tiny wheel like that, no. I'd need a big wheel. It is quite small. Definitely one of the disadvantages of this wheel, Tony, is its size. I would like to get a bigger wheel at some point. I've said before, this is quite a cheap wheel. It's a good starting wheel, but I am looking to get a better one probably next year at this point. Thanks for following. I am an apple. Size doesn't matter, actually. It's just how you use it, says Puddle. Truer words were never spoken. Do you have pedals, says Troy? I do. I've got 2 pedals, brake and accelerate. Unfortunately, no clutch pedal with this setup, but I would like to get a clutch pedal, again, for a bit of extra realism. At the minute, just brake and accelerate, though. I don't know this road yet. I keep needing to check the map. Are they sensitive? Like if you push harder, it goes faster? Yeah, Troy. They do have a bit of sensitivity to them, but I am very much pedal to the metal kind of person. I've always just got them pushed down all the way. But you can accelerate a little bit slower, and you can brake a little bit slower if you don't push the pedals down all the way. But I don't do that. I put them down all the way. This is why I'm not. This is why I should never be allowed to drive a real car, because I would just be going flat out full throttle all the time, and I would die. I would cause a crash within 48 hours of driving, which is why I don't want to do it. Okay, same again. Sheep, please, not cows. We're going to get the same again. 10 ewes and 2 rams. Yep, 10 Suffolk ewes and 2 rams. There we go. Is this map coming to Xbox? I don't know, Ed Holden. It's still not officially on PC yet. It's not on the Mod Hub or anything like that. You can only download it from itch.io. I know the creator does eventually plan to release it on the Mod Hub, but I don't know if it's going to be crossplay as well. We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for the roses, by the way, Brooklyn and Jay Jatta. Thank you very much, both of you. Who needs to slow down, says Dylan, honestly. Not really a big fan of Saxlingham, says Rilo. I quite enjoy it, Rilo. From what I've seen so far, I like the map. I do like that it's bigger than Moss Valley, because although I did love Moss Valley, I think one of the shortcomings of the map was that it wasn't that big, so there wasn't really that much to do, you know? How do you pronounce your name, says Unknown. My name's pronounced Saul. Rhymes with Paul. And it's spelt the same. But with an S instead of a P, obviously. S-A-U-L. I love the setup. Thank you, Brooklyn. And thank you for the rose, Puddle. Hey, Saul. Hey, Ollie. How are you doing? So was your name Paul? Nope, my name's never been Paul. My name has always been Saul. That is actually the name that my parents gave me when I was born. My dad's a Guns N' Roses fan, so I was actually named after Saul Hudson, aka Slash, the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses, and widely considered to be one of the best guitarists of all time. So I'm quite honoured to be named after Slash, to be honest, which is why I never really wanted to change my name when I came out. And I've always just liked the name, to be honest. I've always really liked the name Saul. I've always felt that it really suited me. I just can't imagine myself having any other name. When I first came out, I did consider the name Rose. Oh shit! I've just been driving along with the tailgate open. Whoops. Yeah, when I first came out, I did consider the name Rose, and I ended up using it as my middle name. But it never felt right. It always felt weird being called anything other than Saul, you know? I always just came back to Saul, and I felt, you know, that's the name that I was born with, that's the name that I feel comfortable with. Yes, it's not really a common name for women, but it's my name, you know? I always just felt a very strong connection to that name. So I decided not to change it. I decided to keep the name that I was born with. What steering wheel is that, by the way, says Unknown. This is the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel. Okay, we've now got 24 sheep. That's 20 ewes and 4 rams. I think we'll keep going. We'll get a couple more loads. What's your name, says Sam. Once again, my name is Saul, S-A-U-L. I've been planning on doing a video actually about my name, because I really want to talk about it. A lot of people do ask me about my name and, you know, why I decided not to change it and stuff like that. So I would like to eventually do a video where I talk about, you know, how I got my name, why I decided not to change it, why I did decide to change my middle names, because obviously I don't have the same middle names that I was born with. My birth middle names were actually James and Bernard, which I don't think suited me at all, so I changed those. But yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to make a video about why I kept my first name, why I changed my middle names, and, you know, where all of those names came from. Bernard, says Puddle. Yes, indeed, my former middle name was Bernard. It is actually, you know, the reason for that was actually, I do appreciate. My middle name comes from my granddad. My granddad's name was Bernard. So I do appreciate that my middle name was taken from my granddad, and I do respect that fact, which is why when I was choosing my new middle names, I wanted to keep, you know, I wanted to pick a name that sort of kept that tradition, which is why I chose Ruby, which was my great-grandma's name. So I feel like I'm still honouring my granddad in a way by taking the middle name of his mum. But yeah, I couldn't keep Bernard. I couldn't. Sorry, Grandad, but I couldn't keep Bernard. No way. Francis Mark John is your son's name, both his granddad's names. That's nice though, Puddle. I like that. Like I say, I do like the idea of honouring older family member by giving their name to your kids as a middle name. I do appreciate what my parents were doing there with giving me the middle name Bernard, and I do respect what they were trying to do. You know, that it was a way to honour my granddad, and like I say, I wanted to change it, but I wanted to still keep something that honoured him in some way, and that's why I went for Ruby. How much was the wheel? The wheel was £230. That's for the wheel, side panel, and 2 pedals. Is this the new map you mentioned you were going to start? It is Draydog, yes. This is Saxlingham. This is our 2nd episode on this series, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Good map. It's based on an area just south of Norwich, which I've never been to. I've only ever been to Norfolk once. I went on a holiday to Great Yarmouth when I was 2. That is the only time I've ever set foot in Norfolk. I nearly made the same mistake again then. Okay, we need 2 rams. And 6 U's. 10 U's, sorry. My neck of the wood. Nice one, Warren. Have you ever been to the real-life Saxlingham? I mean, it's a pretty unremarkable little village, so probably not, but... thanks for following, ZM. You have? Oh, lovely. Is the map accurate? Can you attest to that? Oh, close the tailgate this time, Saul. There we go. I have a question, though. Go ahead. Hard too busy. Go ahead. W in the chat for Saxlingham. Indeed. Like I say, I'm loving the map so far. I have enjoyed what I've seen of it up to this point. Oh. I'm going to try and drive more realistically as well. That's something that I'm always really bad at in driving games, is driving realistically. But I want to at least try, you know. I want to try and stay true, because I'm playing the game realistically in other ways. I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible. it only makes sense that I should try and drive realistically as well. But it's not easy for someone who, let's just say, is not a very safe driver. I don't drive in real life, so don't worry. I'm not in any. I'm not putting any real life road users at risk. Poor Farming Sim 25 because you play. Why you team us into women? Okay, that isn't actually a grammatically correct sentence, Lepek, and I'm not actually sure what the correct sentence was supposed to be. That's just gibberish. I'm sorry to say. That's just word salad. If you'd like to rephrase the question, go ahead. But that's completely indecipherable at the moment. A star for an attempt at a hate comment. Indeed, indeed, Puddle. You've got to respect the attempt, at least. What you are, woman or man? Woman. I'm a trans woman. I've been out for 4 years. So I was born male. It says male on my birth certificate, but I've lived as a woman for 4 years. Thanks for following, Mads. Girly with a racing sim rig, instant follow. Thank you very much. It's not actually a racing rig though. It's more for heavy duty vehicles like trucks and tractors, and occasionally buses. But yeah, I have got the whole setup. I've got the steering wheel, the gear shifter, the handbrake, the side panel. I've got the whole lot. Even got the ignition key down here. So thanks for the appreciation. I've read some of these. They're disgusting. Do you need a mod? I'm honestly fine, thank you, District Chicago. I appreciate your concern, and thank you for the offer. But as I've said many times before, the negative comments really don't bother me. I prefer to leave them be, for a couple of reasons. Mainly, though, I think, like I was saying earlier, I think that. I think hate comments speak for themselves, to be honest. You know, I think it's better to leave the hate comments up and let people see just how deranged some of them can be. Because I get some seriously deranged comments on these live streams. But again, I think it's much better to leave those comments up and let people see just how crazy these comments can be, because I think that is more effective than trying to explain why comments are negative. You know what I mean? I think rather than like addressing the hate comments or anything like that, it's a lot easier to just let people, you know, show their own character in that way. We're deranged, are we now? Yes, Mason. I mean, personally, I think that going onto a random person's TikTok and asking, do you receive? Do you have a dick? Have you had it chopped off? I think all of those questions are deeply, deeply deranged things to ask someone on the internet that you've known for 3 seconds. So yeah, I do think that negative comments like that are completely deranged. Okay, we're going to get one more load of sheep, by the way, and then I think that will be enough. Thanks for following District Chicago. I'm trans myself, so I get it, says District Chicago. Yeah, honestly, like I say, it's just one of those things. I think negative comments on the internet are inevitable, and I just don't. I just think it's a bit of a waste of time to try and crack down on them. You can call me Danny. Thank you, by the way, Danny. Yeah, I just think it's easier to just let them stay up and let people reveal themselves. You know, like, for example, the full stop right now is just commenting rope, rope, rope over and over again. I mean, that says more than me trying to explain why the comment is negative, you know what I mean? Just, the comment speaks for itself if you just leave it as it is, you know? Although it is getting a bit spammy, so we'll shut that down. Like I say, I'm sorry to keep harping on about it, but I just think rather than deleting a negative comment and then explaining why it's bad, it's a lot more effective to just leave that comment up and let people see it, you know. But anyway, that's, you know, let's leave that there. I've said my piece. I've explained why I let the negative comments stay up. There it is. Let's get back to the game. How many tractors do you have so far, says ZM? We've only got 2 tractors at the minute, because these are the tractors that I started with when I started the map. We haven't bought any new ones yet. So we've got this New Holland T7, and then we've also got a Claas Axion, I believe it is. It might be an Aryan, but I think it's an Axion. And we've also got a Combine, and that's pretty much it. What do you identify as now? Can I ask why you mind that change? I'm a trans woman, Mason, so I was born male. I am biologically male, for what it's worth. It says male on my birth certificate, and I am male. But I've lived as a woman for 4 years. I came out in 2021. And I've lived as a woman ever since. I'm, you know, known and accepted by my family and friends as such. And here I am, basically. Good luck harvesting. UK weather's always horrendous. Indeed, ZM. It's always tricky when it comes to harvesting, making, you know, getting the right weather for it, because obviously you can't harvest in the rain. I think with precision farming you can harvest in the rain, but it reduces the yield. But if you play without that mod, then it won't let you harvest at all in the rain. I think that's how it works, anyway. Turn to God, says that white 5L. Where is he? Where is he? Is he over there? Where are you, God? He's not here right now, I'm afraid. Is it realistic weather, says District Chicago? Fairly. It's a little bit sunnier than it is in real life. It doesn't rain as much in the game as it actually does in the UK, which is a bit of a blessing, to be honest. I think have I just missed my... Oh no, it's here. I thought I'd missed my turn there. What bales will you be making for the animals? At the minute, ZM, unfortunately, we didn't actually get any straw swath from our grain when we harvested, so we are going to have to buy in some bales for now. We can do grass. We got grass fields, so we can make up some hay bales for feed, which will be alright for the sheep, but when we get cows, until we start making our own bales, we'll have to buy in the hay for the cows. This will be a good series to follow. Thank you, District Chicago. I stream this every second Friday, so it won't be next Friday, but the Friday after will be the next one. And I am looking forward to it. It is only episode 2 of this series, so we're still only just getting started with the map, but I'm quite excited. Do you get bullied much? Do you care if people refer to you how they see you? I don't, Mr. Pokemon Card King. I really don't care how other people view me. You know, the people that matter to me, my friends and family, they know who I am and they accept who I am. Really, a random person on the internet calling me a bloke doesn't affect me in the slightest. Like I say, the people that matter to me, they respect me, and that's all that matters to me, really. Saul, is this live only for LGBTQ plus people? No, Heart Too Busy, it's not only for LGBTQ plus people. It is obviously an LGBTQ plus friendly space, for, you know, because I am that. I am one of those people. But you don't have to be queer to be here. I just made that up on the spot, by the way. That was off the top of my head. I'm quite proud of that. That should be the motto of this channel. You don't have to be queer to be here. You can be, and you're welcome if you are, but it's not a requirement. What will be your next investment in your equipment? I'm not sure, ZM. I think we're going to have to get some baling equipment, because we don't have a baler. I don't think we have a baler, anyway. Let me just check, just in case we do. I don't want to buy another one if we've already got one. But I don't think we had a baler with the starting equipment. Oh, we do. We got a class quadrant. So I guess some baling would be a good place to start. Have you considered renting one? Well, we've already got one, ZM, so we don't need to worry about it. Anyway, just to point out, we do have all the sheep right now, so we got 48 in total. We got 36... No, we got 40 ewes and 8 rams. So there's there's 1 ram per 6 ewes, which is apparently the ratio that we should be going for. They're 6 months old, so they won't start lambing for a while yet. But there we go. We got our sheep. They are going to need some food. They currently have nothing, so we will need to start providing them with some. Thank you, Aiden. How are you doing, by the way? So yeah, let's start doing some baling, I guess. I'm going to take this back to the farm, and then I'm going to pick up a baler. Where's our grass field, by the way? I think, yeah, we got a grass field here, field 85, which is just south of the farmhouse is ours, so we can do some baling there. I'm doing good, just chilling. How about you? I'm doing good, Aiden. I'm glad to hear that you're alright. I'm doing good. It's been a good stream. A nice busy stream, which I do appreciate. I like it when the stream's, you know, quite active. Not on my PS4 till next Sat. Oh, sorry about that, District Chicago. I hate being away from my my games. Is your house connected to your farm? It is, ZM, yeah. We got a house on the farm. Thanks for following what you're looking at. Oh, thank you for following Aiden on Twitch. Thank you very much. Also, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but my my Twitch alert sound is like a chime in like a train station. I just thought it would be appropriate because I like trains. And I couldn't think of any other sound effect to use for it. So if you follow me on Twitch, you will hear that announcement. Thanks for following LocalVid76 and the gym guy as well, by the way. Might be in hospitals. It does, yeah. You hear that sound, you hear that chime all over the place, right? But for me personally, I've always associated it with train stations. And I've put that message, like when you actually follow as well, the message says "Welcome aboard," just to tie in with the train theme. See it, say it sorted, says Puddle. I used to live in London, so thank you. Nice one, District Chicago. Have you considered buying Train Sim World 6? I have Train Sim World, ZM. I don't play it as much as Train Sim Classic. I actually... Personally, I prefer Train Sim Classic. I've always felt that Train Sim Classic is a better game than Train Sim World. Again, not to get too much into it, but I've always felt that Train Sim World kind of tricks you into thinking it's a better game because it looks better. Like, it's got better graphics, but I don't think it's a better game. I think it tricks you into thinking that it's a better game because it looks better, but I think Classic is a better experience for me personally. I've always been a big fan of Train Sim Classic, and I probably always will be. I feel like Classic runs better than World. I think that depends, ZM. Depends on your hardware. I think Train Sim World is... if you've got a high-end PC, I think Train Sim World runs a bit better. Having said that, though, I do think Train Sim World's better optimized as well than Train Sim Classic. Like I say, it really depends, you know. Dropped a game in the suggestion box. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you. I'll check it out. Okay, where are we going to leave our animal livestock trailer? We might as well just put it in that shed behind us there. Do you reckon this teaches you tractor driving skills? Says Lara. I don't, Lara. To be quite honest, I think most people will agree that even though it's called Farming Simulator, it's not exactly a highly realistic driving simulator experience. The same goes for Euro Truck. I think, honestly, the opposite might be true. I think, if your only experience with driving is in a game like Farming Sim or Euro Truck, it might actually hinder your ability to learn how to drive a real car, because you've kind of got to unlearn, it's a completely different kettle of fish, Lessons from Jeremy Clarkson, says District Chicago. Yeah. It's very different to driving, real-life driving, and that's from experience. Thank you for confirming, Dylan. Yeah, like I say, it's... I think because of the word simulator kind of implies a level of realism that, unfortunately, the game doesn't deliver. I think these days the word simulator has kind of... It's kind of shifted its meaning a bit. There's thousands of simulator games out there, but there are very few that are like a highly realistic simulation experience. A good example is Flight Sim. Flight Sim is a very realistic experience. I've never played it, but from what I've heard, Flight Sim is really, really realistic, and I've heard a lot of people say that, you actually can learn... In theory, you could learn how to fly a real plane by playing Flight Simulator. But I don't think the same is true for Farming Sim or Euro Truck. I don't think these games actually help you that much when it comes to the real thing. Because they're a bit more arcadey, they're a bit more... They're quite simplified compared to the real thing. Anyway, where's my mower? We need a mower. We need to go and mow some grass. Oh, we don't have a mower. That's it. We don't have grassland equipment, so we'll have to buy a rower and windrower. In fact, we might have a windrower. No, so we need a mower and a windrower, which will be under grassland. I'd love to get one of these mowers that you can use for hedge trimming. I don't think you can actually do hedge trimming in this map, but it would be really cool to have one all the same. I think, though... let's go for something a bit simpler for now. Thoughts on Forza Horizon? Thanks for following, by the way, Codebrick. I've never played Forza Horizon. I'm really, honestly, not that big into racing games. I prefer, like, slower driving games, things like Euro Truck, Farming Sim, OMSI, that kind of thing. I don't know, racing games have just never really been my cup of tea. I would like to get more into them. If I had a racing wheel rather than this heavy-duty wheel, I might like to get more into racing games, but I've never been huge on racing games, to be honest. I might actually buy the HiMac. I don't know. Oh, wait, this one's good, actually. This one's really expensive, but I think this has got an automatic windrower. Like, it automatically puts the grass into rows for you. I really don't know. We don't have much choice, to be honest. There's not many mowers available. Maybe the Vermeer. That's I should have got some mods. I should have got a mower mod. Let's have a look. Actually, I think we got time. Let's go and see if we can find a nice mower on the mod hub. Why not? What about things like GTA? A bit more freedom. I do like GTA, Tom. Like you say, I think the freedom is nice. With most racing games, you're kind of always behind the wheel, you know? I like games where you have a bit more freedom, like, you know, in something like GTA or Watch Dogs. I love Watch Dogs. Again, I like games where driving is a part of the game, but it's not the whole game, you know? And I think most games that I play fit that description, apart from maybe Euro Truck, that is like a driving-only game, but, you know, most of the driving games I play, driving is just like one part of the experience, right? Okay, mowers. Where are they? There. Now, I'm already thinking of the New Holland disc bind. Can we get that? We can. This is a great mower. I love this mower. I've used this mower a lot in Farming Sim 22. We'll download that one. What else is there, though? Laley. This Cavernaland one looks decent. A bit small. I don't want anything too small. How? That's 4 meters. The disc bind's 4 meters as well. We'll get it. Why not? Give ourselves a bit more choice. Hello, Horse Lover, by the way. Vicon Extra. That's... ooh, they look quite nice. They look quite good. And they're not too expensive. 21 grand for the front one. 55 for the rear ones. 10 meter working width. I like that. We'll download those. Okay, this is tempting, actually. Not for like, not for the serious mowing jobs, but it'd be cool to get one of these so that we can just trim the grass around the farmyard every now and then. I'm gonna add that. Why not? Oh, the Class Disco is quite good as well. So is the Pottinger. Okay, I'm going to add the pottinger. That's it. That's it. That's enough choice. We don't want too many options, you know. That'll do. Let's head back in. Okay, enable all the mods except the color configurator. I don't want that one on. There we go. Now let's load back in and continue. Okay. So, I think we'll go for the pottinger. Because it's got quite a nice working width. Actually, before we buy the mower, let's take a look at the field that we're going to be mowing. Because the field that we're mowing is this one here, field 85. And it's got a bit of a strange shape to it. There's quite a lot of trees here. So it might be a good idea to have a smaller mower, might make it a bit easier to maneuver. It's got quite a steep hill as well, which a smaller mower would be helpful for. In fact, look at that. That's going to be tricky even with a small mower. We might have to just leave out this corner because that looks like an absolute nightmare. But yeah, it's the field's a bit of a weird shape. There's quite a lot of trees. There's quite a lot of hills. So it might be a good idea not to go for a huge mower, to go for something a little bit smaller. So let's take a look. Gender, I'm a trans woman, Dylan. So born and raised as a boy, but I came out 4 years ago and I've lived as a woman ever since. Completely unrelated to you being trans, are you bald? I'm not bald, Riley. This is my real hair that you see right here. I've been growing it for about 5 years. My last haircut was in Christmas 2020. I've never cut it since. I've been growing it for 5 years, and I'm very, very happy with the results. I'm 5 years ago, came out at 25. Nice one, District Chicago. I came out at 21. No, 22, because it was in 2021, and I was born in 99. So, yeah, I came out at 22. Now I'm 26. Have I gone past the mower? There we go. Okay. Okay, the two Vicons would cost a combined total of 76 grand. The Pottingers would be a combined total of... Whoa, it's 75 just for the crossflow? Okay, I didn't realise how expensive that one was. I think the Vicon's a good option then. Thanks for following. Nice one, brother. Good age to do it. 95, born 30 myself. It gets easier. Thanks for the kind words, District Chicago. I'm obviously I wish that I'd known earlier. I wish that I'd known that I was trans from a very young age, because I would have been able to start my transition earlier. But I think, you know, it's never too late. It's never too late. You might... part of me might wish that it had happened earlier, but I'm just glad that I did realize, you know, because I could have gone my whole life without knowing, you know. That's the scariest part, I think, is knowing that if I didn't come out when I did, I genuinely could have gone my whole life without ever realizing that I was trans, you know. I could have spent my whole life knowing that something was wrong, but not being able to figure out what it was. Which is a scary thought. And I like I say, I'm just glad that I did figure it out. Better late than never, and at least I get to be who I am now, you know. Anyway, back to this mower. Maybe... I know we've added all of these mods, but maybe it would be a better option to just get something simple like this, a side-mounted one. I'm concerned about the hills. We don't want a long, rigid mower because it's going to struggle on hills. We need one that's, you know, got some articulation. The ground cut. Which one's that? Oh, the 20k one. Oh, the Cavernalands. Or the Discbine. The one on the left. I'm not sure which one you mean, District Chicago. Left for smaller. Oh, this one you mean. Yeah, this is... The thing is, it's a side-mounted one, and side-mounted ones are a bit awkward. I really don't know. Maybe we should keep it simple. Just go for a small front-mounted one, and keep it at that. This Pottinger's quite cheap. Let's do that. Let's just go for this small one. That'll do for now. We can always get the bigger one to go on the back because, like, these are supposed to be a set. You're supposed to use both of them together, but you can, you can just as easily use one or the other. We'll just go for this. We'll go for the Pottinger Novacat. It's, I think, the cheapest one, and it's, we'll see how we get on with it. We'll take the Class, I think, for this job. We've been using the New Holland for most of the stream so far. Let's give the Class a go. We can use the beacon light on the Class as well, so I'm sure some of you will want to see that. So we'll switch over to the Class for this next bit. There we go. And we are off. And the beacon light. Oh no, this has got a flash as well. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. I thought it had a spin. I thought it had a spin beacon, but it doesn't. It has a flash. Can't use it if it has a flash. Tell me, how do I pull girls, says Drudip. You're asking the wrong person, Drudip, to be quite honest with you. Blinders, yeah, sorry, District Chicago. Like I say, I don't like using the beacon light when it's got a flash pattern, just because I don't want to risk, anyone who's watching who might have epilepsy. I don't want to put you at any risk. If the tractor has a spinning beacon light, then I will have it on, but if it's got a flashing light, then I'll keep it off. What game is this? This is Farming Sim 25, as you can see above my head on TikTok. This is Farming Sim 25, and the map is called Saxlingham, which is based in Norfolk. Okay, there's the mower. I'm also going to buy the windrower now while we're at it. Ooh, expensive. No, it's too small though, isn't it? Wait, how wide is the mower? This is let's be technical about this. The mower is 3.1 meters. Okay. So if we get a windrower that's 6.2 meters, it'll be wide enough to do 2 rows perfectly. So that's what we really need. Something around 6 meters or so. 8.4. I mean, if we wanted to do 3 rows, we'd need something that's about 9.3. Actually, this one might do it. And it's only 20 grand, which is fairly cheap. Let's go for that. We'll go for the Samaz. Where'd you play this game? PS4 or mobile? This is on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC. So you got quite a lot of options. This mod is PC only, so you can't play on this map if you're on console, but you can get the game on consoles. Right, off we go. Oh, that's lovely dashboard, lovely monitor there, just completely obscuring my view out of the right window whenever I want to turn a corner. I do like that the covers on the mower actually flap in the breeze. That's quite nice. It's a nice touch. You can't get FS25 on PS4? Oh, sorry, Dylan. I stand corrected. You can't get it on PS4, unfortunately. Where am I going? I'm supposed to be going back to the farm, because that's where the field is that we're supposed to be mowing. I've completely gone the wrong way here. Whoops. Is the game on Steam? It is, Nate, yes. And it might be on sale at the minute, because there's a Steam sale on. I'm not sure what the event is, but there is a Steam sale on at the minute, so it might be worth checking out. I don't know if Farming Sim's on sale, but, you know, worth a look. Sadly, I play on PS4 and can't play FS25. Might upgrade to PC or PS4 5 for Christmas. Go, honestly, if you can afford it, Dylan, go for it. It is a shame now that obviously PS4 and Xbox One are starting to lose support. A lot of newer games are no longer being released for those consoles now. That's kind of, you know, that's the inevitability of consoles, though. You know, every few years a new console is going to come out and the old one is going to no longer have games released for it. That's one advantage to PC, even though, you know, even though you do want to upgrade your PC every few years because the technology, you know, becomes outdated. Theoretically, you could just keep the same PC for 20 years and still be able to play the latest games on it, you know? Whereas with a console, you kind of have to buy the newest one every few years if you want to keep up to date with the latest games. Oh shit, I just hit the corner post there. Whoops. Watch the post. Yeah, sorry, Charlotte. Okay, we are... I'm going to leave the windrower outside for now. We're not actually going to take that in with us. We'll just take the mower in first. Hello, I know you can see me. I can see you, yes, Callum. Woodby says, not really, GPU and CPU will stop receiving driver updates after a while. I guess that is also true, but generally speaking, the support for those lasts a lot longer than it does for consoles, you know? And also, theoretically, you could just replace the GPU. Eventually, you know, once you can only replace components for so long before you have to replace the entire PC. But theoretically, you know, when a GPU stops getting updated, you can get a new one without having to buy a whole new PC straight away. So I definitely think, like I say, I just think it's a lot easier with PC to stay up to date, whereas with a console, you know, every couple of years you have to get the newest one or you can't play the latest games. My console Xbox has outlived 2 GPUs and a motherboard, and my console is still being updated. Nice one, Tyler. Okay, let's start mowing. I'm guessing we can't use... Yeah, we can't use steering assist on this field because it's not an arable field. But we don't need to be too precise when it comes to mowing anyway. Let me join. Single player only, I'm afraid. Okay, here's the hill. Whoa, okay, we made it. I don't think the windrower is going to get down there, but we made it with the mower. I'm playing Farming Sim 22, says Aiden. Nice one, Aiden. Have fun. Oh, have we hit something there? Oh. Apparently not. Okay, there we go. First go around done. We might need to switch to the external camera in a minute, because it's starting to get a little bit dark and it's going to get hard to see where we've mowed and where we haven't. Looks like the camera's lagging again as well. I apologise for that. This would be a good field to keep animals in, and it's just unfortunate that the animal pens... It's unfortunate that when you place the animal pen, you have to, like, set the bounds within the existing field, so we'd have to put a smaller fence inside the current fence, you know? It'd be cool if you could select a field and then turn that field into an animal pasture without having to lay down any new fences or anything like that. Maybe there'll be a mod out there for that, I don't know. But at the minute, it's not an option. Why is that? Oh, for fuck's sake. I accidentally set the AI worker, and because there's no field found, he immediately gave up. I don't want to use an AI worker, I want to do it myself. Thank you. We're getting closer to the big trees. We are going to have to be mindful of those. That's why I wanted to go for a slightly smaller mower, though. Because it's going to be a bit easier to maneuver around those trees. I just know if we were doing this with a bigger mower, or a rear mower, we'd get it caught against a tree at some point. Whereas with this one, it's front mounted, we can see exactly where it is and exactly where we're going. There's much less risk of us hitting a tree, such as the one up ahead. We're going to try and scoot around it. Okay, we hit it anyway. I mean, You couldn't get better timing than that, could you? Just after I said that we weren't going to hit any trees. So what I'm thinking, by the way, is we're going to mow this, we're going to windrow it and bale it, we're going to take some for the sheep to eat, so we'll have started feeding them, and then I don't know how much time we're going to have left after we've done all that, but I might look at getting some other animals as well. Like I say, eventually I want to also keep cows, pigs and chickens. We could get chickens today, they're very cheap. No pun intended. But I think cows and pigs might have to wait till next time because they're a bit... Well, pigs are a bit more expensive, cows are a lot more expensive. And they're also a lot more high maintenance, you know. The thing is, I think in terms of difficulty, chickens are the easiest, then sheep, then cows, then pigs. I think pigs are the hardest, but cows are quite difficult as well. Just because they've got quite a lot of care requirements, a lot of food requirements. You've got to give them hay to bed on. You've obviously got to handle the manure and slurry, which will be good in the long run, because we can spread that on our fields instead of artificial fertilizers. But yeah, I think maybe we should wait till next week for cows and pigs. We'll see. We'll see how we feel once we got this done. Okay, the tree there. Thanks for following, Nathan Mueller. People are doing anything these days, says Jim Zeno. Yeah, I know. People really do the craziest shit these days, like playing Farming Simulator. Real wild. Do you not get bored, says DR? I don't, no. I get this question a lot, especially when I'm playing Farming Sim, and occasionally with Euro Truck as well. People asking, you know, do you not get bored of this? It's only boring if you find it boring, you know what I mean? Like, I imagine for some people this is incredibly boring, which, you know, Farming Sim's not for everyone, right? Some people will enjoy this, some people won't enjoy it. Like, there are things that I find incredibly boring that other people find very exciting. Football, for example. Personally, I believe football is the most boring thing ever invented, but some people enjoy it, and that's fine. You know, we all have different interests. What one person finds boring, another person will find interesting. Thanks for following, by the way, Benji. Okay, we're doing good. I'd say we're probably about halfway through this field now. Actually, a bit further than that, to be honest. When you get in the Hori wheel, I'm not, MJ. I did consider getting it when it first released, but To be honest, I don't think it's that much of an improvement over this wheel. I think when I do eventually upgrade my wheel, I want to go for something that's, like, significantly better. I do believe that the Hori wheel is better than this one, but I don't think it's enough. Like, I don't think it's enough of an improvement to warrant buying it as an upgrade to this. Like I say, I'd rather save a bit more money and buy something that's a bit more of a significant upgrade. Can I have your side panel when you're not using it? I am keeping the side panel 100%. I have no intention to get rid of the side panel. Even when I upgrade my steering wheel, the side panel is going to stay because I absolutely love this side panel. I think it's literally the best one you can buy. Can I have the wheel, says Ben. I already have a recipient in mind for the wheel, Ben, I have to say. I don't want to say who it is in case they're watching, but I've got a friend who has been wanting to get their first wheel. And I thought it might be nice to gift it to them. It's not brilliant, but it's a start, you know, until they can buy something for themselves. I've never had one before. They're not that expensive, Ben. Honestly, they're not. I mean, this one's £230 for the wheel, the side panel, and 2 pedals, which is a good price. It's basically the cheapest wheel you're gonna get. I like farming. I love farming as well. Nice one, Jacob and Bailey. Glad to hear it. Okay, we're nearly done with the mowing now. Can I double it and give it to the next person instead of me having it, please? Says Ben. I'm not sure what you mean, Ben. Once again, I'm going to be giving it to a friend of mine who has been talking about getting a wheel. So please, no requests. You know, can I have your wheel when you get rid of it, or can I have this or that when you get rid of it? Because I normally have someone in mind already when I replace bits of my setup. Okay, last little bit, and then it's on to the windrower. Fold that down. Oh, thank you for following Zeke. Oh, you already followed earlier, but hello again. Oh, shit. I forgot the gate opened this way. Okay, we'll do the windrow in as well. We got time. Okay, unfold. I'm available to collect the wheel today if that's okay with you. Ben, I'm not giving you my steering wheel. It's not happening. Your talking's way behind, says DJ Camo. Yeah, it's my camera that's lagging, DJ Camo. My webcam will sometimes lag behind. Because my PC prioritizes the game itself. So sometimes when my resources are running low, it'll lag the camera out. But I'd rather the camera be laggy than the game itself, you know? Shit. Missed a bit there. Okay, it might be easier to stay in cab view, to be honest, because then I've just got to keep the cab over the central swath. Okay, we're not going to be able to get down there with the windrower. Oh, shit. I have G29 wheel, better than yours. Matter of opinion, DJ Camo, but that is a racing wheel, which, personally, I wouldn't like to use for farming sim. I mean, this wheel has been specifically designed for Farming Simulator, whereas the G29 is designed for racing games. We've wrapped the windrower around this tree already, by the way, so I'm going to have to reset that to the shop. Good. Good, good, good. Why is it so delayed, says Isaiah. Once again, my webcam lags quite a lot. It's because my PC prioritizes the game, and I've got the game's graphics set for, well, not ultra, but they're quite high. Again, if it comes down to a choice between the game being laggy and the camera being laggy, I'd rather it be the camera. I'd rather it be neither, but unfortunately it has to be one of them. Thanks for following, old Codger. How are you doing? Okay, it's still only 3 o'clock in game, so it's still we've still got time to get this windrowing finished. I'm fine, and yourself? I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, been a pretty good stream actually. Quite busy. Thank you everyone who's followed and who's sent gifts today. It's very much appreciated. Okay, let's try that again. Saxlingham's a great map. It is, Old Codger. I've really enjoyed it so far. Still early days yet, but I like what I've seen up to this point. Don't even think about wrapping around the same tree again. These don't reverse very easily. Because if you look, they've basically got, like, trolley wheels on the back. They're not really built for reversing. Okay, there we go. That's the best we're going to do. No. There we go. Okay. And we're off again. Lovely. I've played around 300 hours on this map. Nice one, Old Codger. We've played about 5 hours on this map so far. But like I say, what I've seen I have enjoyed. We just need to fix the mess in this corner. And there we go, that'll do. Don't forget we gotta bail this, so we need to be able to maneuver the bale around this and mind out for trees and stuff. I like the look and the outfit, by the way. Thank you, Old Codger. That's much appreciated. There we go, and we're off. Shit. I had a feeling that might happen. What made you start playing this game, says Henry? I've always been interested in farming, Henry. I grew up on and around farms. My granddad used to work on a farm. He used to take me to work with me. He used to take me to work with him on the weekends. So I spent a lot of my childhood on farms, and I've always had a sort of interest in farming. And then for Christmas one year, Christmas 2014, my dad bought me a PS4, and he bought me 2 games for it, Watch Dogs and Farming Sim. Both of which I really love. I love Watch Dogs as well. But that was when I first encountered Farming Sim, and I loved it from the start. I was hooked straight away. You know, I've been with it ever since. I've owned every game in the series at some point or another, except the mobile ones. I did have 13 on my PS Vita, but that was the only mobile version I've ever owned. Watch Dogs was great. Yeah, I love Watch Dogs. And Watch Dogs 2, I think, was the best in that series. Big fan. But yeah, I got that when I got my first PlayStation 4 as well. So another great game. I've been playing Borderlands 4 non-stop lately. Nice one, Henry. It's never really been my cup of tea, Borderlands. I've never really been into it. I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. You on PC or console? I'm on PC, old codger. Your face cam's a bit laggy. Yeah, sorry about that, Els. It tends to happen. Especially, well, it only really happens on Farming Sim and Euro Truck, which are like the 2 most graphically demanding games that I play. It never happens with Minecraft or anything like that. But it's basically just whenever my PC is running low on resources. Thanks for following the Eclectic Collection. Yeah, whenever my PC is running low on resources, it tends to prioritize the game rather than the camera, which is why the camera sometimes lags out and goes out of sync with my voice. But again, I'd rather have that than have the game itself be a laggy mess, you know? Okay, windrowing is done. What wheel are you using? I've got the Moser wheel. I have the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel. I've had this for about 3 years now. I am looking to upgrade it at some point because it's a bit old and worn down at the moment. But yeah, it's a good wheel. Like I say, I've had this for a few years now and it's not let me down so far. What map is that, says Els? This is Saxlingham. Utter nonsense, that's you, says the Eclectic Collection. Okay. You do know that you just followed me. Was there... So, are you a bit confused? Or do you always follow people that you don't like? What do you think about the graphics, says Daniel? They're better than 22. I like the I like the volumetric fog. I like the mist that you get in the mornings. That's really nice. I'm not sure where to put the grass equipment. Can you follow me, says the Eclectic Collection. No, Eclectic Collection, because unlike you, I don't follow people that I don't want to follow. I just can't imagine the logic of following someone and then commenting about how my mere existence is utter nonsense. Like, well, why did you hit follow then? Like, why did you make the conscious decision to press the follow button if you don't want to be here? What do you think? Train Sim World 6 runs way better than 5, I must say. I haven't really tried 6 yet. Like I say, I'm not really that big on Train Sim World. I don't play it very often. I'm much more of a Train Sim Classic player. Okay, there we go. There goes the windrow. Where is the baler? It's up there. Okay, I think it's in one of these closed barns. Or closed sheds. There it is. This baler's probably a bit big for this field, by the way. What I might do is downgrade to a smaller one, which will make us a little bit of money, and, you know, it'll give us a more appropriately sized baler, because, I mean, this is plainly too big for the field that we... In fact, no, I might keep this one for hay bales, because, our grain field, our arable fields are actually pretty big. But then I'll get a second baler for the grassland, because we don't need something this big just for grass. Yeah, we really don't need anything as big as this just for grass. We'll pop this one away. We'll get something a bit smaller. Is that stuck? Yep. The name of the map's been in front of my eyes this whole time and I didn't notice. It's alright, Els. A lot of people don't notice. People are always asking me the name of the game or the name of the map. It's easy to miss, to be fair. Right. Shop. There just so happen to be 2 balers on sale in the shop right now, so these would be very good options, right? So we can get the New Holland Pro Belt for 33 grand, or we can get the VB3190 from Kun for 37 grand. What I'm thinking is... this one's cheaper, so I'm going to get the cheaper one. That's it. That's my entire thought process. This one's cheaper. It's as simple as that. We'll get the cheaper one. What time are we on, by the way? 25 to 6. Okay. We've still got quite a bit of time left, to be honest. But we'll finish this baling. We'll probably take a couple of bales down to the sheep farm, to the sheep pasture, and that'll probably take us through to 6 o'clock. I've just subscribed to your YouTube channel. Thank you, old codger. Are you a trans farmer? Farmer in disguise? A good one, Dafty Vader. Good one. Oh, I need to get some round bale net as well. Let's not forget that. We have to add these things now. Balers. There we go. Consumables. Yes, it is bale net that we need, right? Right, round bale net. Okay. We'll go for Claz, because we got a Claz... Oh no, we got a New Holland baler. But there's no New Holland wrap. Whatever, we'll just go for the Claz wrap. There we go. We'll pick that up later. I don't think we got a front loader at the minute, but we'll need to buy one at some point anyway. So we'll come back and get the spare net wrap. How's the camera now? Seems to be a bit better now. Are all the tractors limited to 33 miles per hour? Most of them, Derbyshire Luke, yeah. That's just the top speed of most tractors, right? There are some that are faster. Some of the bigger ones can get up to like 38, 40, and I think the JCB Fast Track can do like 45. Some are even slower. Some can only do 26, but most of them are about 32, 33-ish. Can you modify the tractors to go 100 plus? With mods, yeah, of course you can, Jake. But that's not very realistic, and I like to try and keep this realistic. Thanks for following again, the Eclectic Collection. Thanks for taking the time, by the way, to unfollow and then follow again. Okay, I think we're ready to go. And that's it. Okay, we're bailing. You should do a stream with like 5 random mods chosen on a spinning wheel. That's not a bad idea, actually, Jake. Camera's glitching. Yep. Sorry about that, Luke. It happens. I'm going to have to start putting a disclaimer on the stream, like camera may lag, because it happens every single time, and people are always like, oh, your camera's lagging. I'm aware of the issue. Thanks for following again, the Eclectic Collection, by the way. You can keep unfollowing and refollowing as much as you like. I'm not going to follow you back. Is this a PC issue? Yes. It is because my PC doesn't have enough resources to run the game. and the webcam at the same time. Sometimes, if my PC is running low on resources, it'll prioritize the game instead of the webcam. Which, I'd rather it do that than lag the actual game, you know what I mean? Can I have this wheel or not? No, Ben, you can't have the wheel. I ain't got one and you've got a spare. We're meant to be mates. We're not mates, Ben. We're not mates. You're literally one of 7,500 people that follows me on TikTok. I've never seen you before in my life. Well, I don't follow you, mate. Well, we can't be that good friends then if you don't even fucking follow me. Do you stream in the mornings? Says Tempato. No, I always stream between 3 PM and 6 PM UK time. Definitely like 3 lads in a Discord call giggling to themselves. Honestly, you're probably right, Jake. It wouldn't surprise me. Some people just have nothing better to do with their time. Oh, don't dump that there. Don't dump that there. Shit. Okay, I'm probably not going to be getting that back. The scammer. Okay, I'm being called a scammer now. I'm a scammer because I refuse to just give my steering wheel to a random viewer who joined the stream and said, "Give me your steering wheel." What planet are you living on, the Eclectic Collection? What level of reality does your mind operate on? That bale's rolled into my neighbour's garden, by the way, so I'm gonna have to sneak into their garden to get it back. Excuse me, one of my bales has kind of rolled into your garden. I'm gonna have to come in here and get that back later, if that's all right. Do you grow corn? Says the Eclectic Collection. Not so far. We've grown wheat and barley so far on this map. I'm not going to try to be too precise about getting every single bit of grass, by the way. It doesn't really matter if we miss little bits and pieces here and there. As long as we got enough grass for our sheep, that's all that really matters to me at the minute. Hi, Alan Burness. How are you doing? That one's definitely going to roll. I wish they'd add better maps to console, says Robbie. Yeah, it is unfortunate. Console kind of tends to get the short end of the stick when it comes to maps and, you know, mods in general. Oddball, says Jackery. I'll take that as a compliment, Jackery. And a scammer, says Eclectic Collection. You're really not letting this go, are you, the Eclectic Collection? Again, you people... No, I don't know. Without wishing to cause too much offence, the Eclectic Collection, I think you're one of those people who gets an idea in their head and then is incapable of thinking anything else. Like genuinely incapable of thinking multiple things at the same time. You can only have one thought bouncing around in there at a time. And in this case, the word scammer just appeared in your mind, and now you physically cannot think of a different word, so you just repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And you'd be surprised by how many of those sort of comments I get, to be honest. You'd be surprised by the amount of people that comment on my videos that clearly have no capacity for independent thought. They just regurgitate the same comments that I've had millions of times before. I think his mates have left the stream and he's still here trying for a wind-up. Possibly, Jack. Jake, sorry. That's the other thing as well. They will insist on trying. I'll give you one thing. They're persistent. But it's not persistence in the sense of like determination. It's persistence in the sense of just being incapable to let something go. You know? Okay, last bale. This one's only 25% full, so I'm going to drive around a bit, see if I can pick up a few bits and pieces from around the place, just to fill it up a bit more. We can unload bales early. I've got a mod that lets you unload. The bales don't have to be completely full. Oh, there's quite a big bit there that we missed, actually, so we'll just go and grab some of that. %. A bit more here as well. It's not even clever, just the same rubbish. Exactly, Jake, exactly. Rattled, says the Eclectic Collection. Yeah, I'm so rattled. Nothing rattles me more than someone just coming into my stream and calling me a scammer 15 times in a row. As you can see, I'm deeply, deeply hurt by those words. You keep talking about it, so you must be... Okay, well, I'll just stop talking about it then. Feel free to keep commenting the Eclectic Collection, but from this point forward, you will just be getting completely ignored. You're my favourite streamer. Thank you, Dagger. At least someone's got a kind word for me today. Okay, I don't think we're going to get much more than this. It's only 47% full, but I don't think we're going to get enough to make up a full bale, so we'll just have to unload it as it is. What time are we on? We've got about 10 minutes left, so I don't know if we'll have time to collect all the bales, but we'll buy some bale handling equipment and see if we can at least grab a few. I might buy one of those rear-mounted bale spikes that lets you pick up 2 bales at once, because I don't think we're really going to be handling too many bales anyway. Something small like that would be worth getting, I think. Enjoy the last 10 minutes, I'm off now. Thanks, old codger, you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for joining. Oh shit, it's still on. I didn't realise the baler was still on that whole time. Okay, there we go. Now, has this got a front loader attacher? No. Has the New Holland got a front loader attacher? Also no. Can we modify this to have a front loader attacher? The Aryan 570. Let's have a quick look. This tractor can attach a front loader. Okay, so we're going to take this to the farm. We're going to get a front loader attached. To the shop, sorry, get a front loader attached. And then... Oh, actually, no. If we're going for a rear-mounted spike, then we don't even need a front loader, right? How many hours have you had on all farming sims combined? I have no idea, Jake. No idea. I mean, I've played 15, 17, 19, 22... 25, I've played 13, 11, I think I've played every mainline farming sim game. Couldn't do a day's work of graft on a real farm? Honestly, I couldn't, Tom. You're absolutely right. I've seen what goes into real farm work. I spent a lot of time on farms when I was a kid. Used to go to work with my granddad on the weekends. I've seen firsthand how demanding that kind of work is, and I definitely couldn't do it for a living. Big respect to the actual farmers out there who do this for a living, because I couldn't imagine doing it. Okay, I am going to have to put a front loader on to get the pallet. No, I don't want to repair it just yet. There we go, front loader attacher. That's 1500. And how big is the tractor? 180 horsepower. So we want a front loader. I'm going to go for a Stoll front loader, I think. Maybe the smaller one would be better. Or actually, no, we'll go for it. Oh, there's a special class. There's one especially for the class, which I'm guessing is compatible. It says 145 horsepower. Yes, okay, we'll go for that then. Game name is Farming Sim 25. And we'll go for a pallet fork. Let's go for the MX pallet fork. It looks nicer. I like it. I think this will attach. I mean, it's listed in the combinations, so it should attach, no problem. What you getting, says Rowan? We're getting a front loader, so we can do some pallet handling. Okay, here it is. And there's the actual spike loader, pallet fork. Got there in the end. Okay, we're not actually going to have time to collect up the bales because it's already 6 o'clock. So I'm just going to take this pallet back to the farm and then we'll end things there. There we go. Okay, off we go. How's your sheep doing? They're doing good, yes. We still need to actually take some of this grass down to them to feed them. We'll probably do that in the next stream now. But we've made some bales. We got 48 sheep. That's 40 ewes and 8 rams. So we're going to start feeding them in the next stream, and we're probably going to look at some other animals in the next stream as well. Maybe cows and pigs. We'll see. We'll see. Have you ever thought about getting a telehandler? I prefer a front loader, to be honest, Rowan. I prefer having something that you can attach to a tractor rather than buying an entire separate vehicle for pallet handling. I do occasionally get skid steers because they're they're fairly cheap. But no, I don't really bother that much with telehandlers. Okay, there we go. Looking hot. Thank you, Millionaire Grifter. Millionaire Gifter, sorry. Chickens, yeah, we'll probably get chickens next week as well. They're definitely on the list. Eventually we will be getting all the animals, including the new water buffalo and goats, but for now, We'll focus on cows, pigs, sheep, and chickens. Okay, there we go. Back of the farm. I'm hanging up the keys. Save game. Battery or free range? They'll definitely be free range. Thanks for following, Millionaire Gifter. Okay, that is where we're going to end it. So don't go away just yet. I'm going to do my usual wrap up. But that is the end of the farming sim portion of the stream. So thank you for joining for that. Let me just switch over to my big camera. Same on TikTok. 1 second. Okay, there we go. So, thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone. Hope you've had a good stream. Hope you've enjoyed. I've really enjoyed it. I think this has been a good stream. Definitely a bit more of a return to form with the chat and with the conversation and everything. It's been very energetic. A lot of great conversation. So thank you, everyone. For joining, and thank you everyone who has left such wonderful messages today. Thank you everyone who's left negative comments as well. As always, I do get a laugh out of them, so if you want to leave negative comments, that's absolutely fine by me. I'm here for them just as much as the positive stuff, so thank you all. Regardless of the intent behind your comments, thank you for all of them, as always. Thanks for the stream, Saul. Thank you, Marika. See you next time you're on. Thank you, JJ. The next stream is going to be Sunday. We are going to be playing Oddworld New and Tasty, and it's probably going to be the final stream for Oddworld New and Tasty. We're getting quite close to the end of the game now. So we're going to finish that hopefully on Sunday, and then next Sci-Fi Sunday we'll be starting Oddworld Soulstorm, the newest game in the series. I'm very much looking forward to that. So again, please join me for that if you're interested. Then after that, there is going to be a stream on Monday. It's not going to be Minecraft. It's going to be a special one-off stream because I am going to be getting my new Lego set. I think I can probably now reveal. The Lego set that I've pre-ordered is the Game Boy. The new Game Boy that just released on Wednesday. I pre-ordered it. It's been shipped. It should probably be arriving tomorrow. I'm going to be building it on stream on Monday. So if you're interested in that, if you want to join me for another Lego building stream, join me on Monday for that. And then next week is also going to be Trucking Tuesday, Factorio Thursday, and Train Sim Saturday. So I'll see you for all of those too. That's all for today, so thank you very much everyone for following. If you have enjoyed and you haven't already, please do follow on TikTok and Twitch and subscribe over on YouTube. Thank you everyone who has followed or subscribed today. There's links in my bio and my about section if you want to join the Discord server where you can chat to me outside of the live streams and get notified when I post and when I stream. You can join me on Instagram and Blue Sky. I don't post there very often, but you can follow me on those if you're interested. And of course, if you would like to support me financially, please do consider checking out the Patreon. Thank you very, very much to my current Patreon supporters, Kate, Jess, Danny, Riley, P, Charlie, Dan, and Amy. If you want to get your name on this board, check out the Patreon in my bio or my about section. It costs £1 a month. You get access to behind the scenes content as well as a shout out on stream, and you'll be supporting me in what I do here on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. So once again, thank you for supporting me on Patreon, Kate, Jess, Danny, Charlie, Riley, P, Dan, and Amy. It's very, very much appreciated. Thank you all so much for supporting me over there. That's it. That's all we got for today's stream, so I will leave it there. I will see you on Sunday for the final episode of Oddworld New and Tasty. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Friday, and enjoy your weekend as well. That's it. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you very much. I'll see you later.